Hey, what's going on, guys? So today we have a kind of first look at a new knife from HEADesigns. This is the Falcon. This was kind of long awaited. I follow them on Instagram and they have little teasers here and there. This was finally released this last Wednesday. So just got it, wanted to talk about it a little bit. Again, just first impressions, not a full review or anything. First off, here's the box. Came in with a little padded bubble wrap envelope, I guess. HEADesigns. Alright, slender little box. They come with a bunch of extras here. Alright, so we have the patch. We have the matching sticker. We have another card here. HEADesigns says sign up for the HEA newsletter, follow us. There's our social media stuff. Alright, and then two more decals, design different, and HEADesigns. And also very classy. A lot of knives are coming with microfiber cloths these days, which is kind of cool. I have a collection of them, let's say. So it's never extra special for me, but of course, you know, you get a nicer high-end knife, and it's nice to have something like this so you can wipe it down. But of course, they're versatile. You can use them for your computer screens, your glasses, whatever. So here's the knife. I'm gonna do a little zoom in because this one's a little bit on the smaller side. Get a little bit more detail there. Very cool, modern, traditional. All right, I know someone had a problem with me saying that a while back. I saw a comment, how stupid is that? It's either modern or traditional. Don't say it like that. It's a slip joint. Whatever. It's a modern take on a traditional design. All right, still sticking with that, modern traditional. So what makes this one kind of special is this cutout that's in the blade. One of the biggest issues they had, if you read on their website, the little blurb on the story on how the Falcon became what it is to better a slip joint knife, right? A lot of times slip joints have little nail nicks, they're hard to open, and part of the big purpose of this was to get something that you can just pinch and pull open, and it's very, very easy to do with this, okay? The cutouts are on both sides. It's extremely well done. This knife sounds like no other knife. I'm just gonna be quiet, open and close it a little bit, just so you can hear this. It almost has like a whooshing noise. It's like, anyway, for some reason it's quite satisfying to hear that. Now, just for reference, since I've got the Falcon, I've kind of compared it to my Lion Steel modern traditional, just because I like this one so much. This one I carry and use probably the most of all of my kind of modern slip joints. And they both happen to have Warncliffe blades. They're about the same size. So I've kind of, you know, gone back and forth and comparing these. I've had a lot of experience with this one thus far. As far as the opening, although this has a very long nail nick that you could use in a similar fashion because it creates shoulders here to pull on, similar to the Falcon, it's nowhere near as comfortable or as easy. All right, so generally speaking, I don't pull from up here because the closer to the pivot, the harder it is to pull. I grab down here. And because this happens to have a swedge, this occasionally happens. I go to pull it and it's just my finger slide off. It's not a big deal, but it's something that's happened. All right, so the Falcon definitely has this edge with quite literally having edges here. All right, that is huge. It's really, really easy to grab that. Also, I've noticed just between the two, the back spring on this Lion Steel is not quite as crisp or strong. All right, it works totally fine. There's nothing wrong with it. However, on the HEA, it's just super crisp. It's like it wants to go and doosh, and then when you open it, ugh. All right, so a little bit more pressure on that back spring. All right, again, just a safety feature. This one's pretty strong, very good, especially compared to a lot of other slip joints in general. It's great, but it just so happens that the Falcon is just a little bit heavier. Okay, so very confident, very sharp blade here, but I know that half stop is going to stop it. All right, just really comfortable and easy to open and close. So back this camera out just a little bit here. So yeah, like I said, just kind of comparing them together. Obviously, they're different designs overall. This one has some custom scales on it. These weren't the original. I had some micarta scales, I believe, originally. But yeah, just, I mean, overall, I have so much experience with this. It was easy to transition to this, just playing around with it today, just cutting some stuff. It feels very natural. It's lighter because this is all titanium. You know, this one has some carbon fiber scales. Now that's something else. I'll leave that in the background. Something else with this, there's 4 different variations on this, okay? 2 of them have carbon fiber scales, and 2 of them have jigged titanium scales, which is pretty cool too. Very similar to that Pena, you know, that I showed recently. So that's kind of cool, something totally different. And then the bolster option is either gray or the anodized blue. Okay, so you have carbon fiber with gray, carbon fiber with blue, jigged titanium scales with gray, jigged titanium scales with blue. Now if I zoom in here, we can look at the logo. This is kind of interesting and cool. I don't think I've seen this before. On the presentation side, we have the HEA logo, but when we turn it around, it's the mirror image. Okay, so it's almost as if this is engraved all the way through. It's actually backwards. It's backwards on purpose as just kind of a design feature. But since we're in nice and tight and close here, you can see that blade. Again, the cutout here is really nice. So you have this nice, you know, kind of satin finish on the entire blade, although the actual cutout is more of a matte finish, almost like a bead blasted type finish. All right, big part of the bolster style was to have these kind of crimped bolsters. Again, that's supposed to be for comfort. You know, as the website says, it's easier to get in and out of the pocket. I don't think that's a huge deal, to be honest. I mean, if you have sharp shoulders on your pocket knives, I don't think you're struggling to get them out of your pocket, but it's a nice little design feature. It's a bonus. All right, of course, we have the little cutout there. Kind of distinguishes the bolster from the handle scales. All right, great fit and finish on this. I mean, fantastic fit and finish. You can see there is a stop pin in there as well. So when you close this, even though it's shutting hard, I mean, it really just clamps shut. But it ensures that the edge never touches that back spring, okay, which is obviously very important. You don't want to shut your knife and then obviously dull your edge, so that edge never comes in contact with anything. All right, super important. But yeah, the fit and finish is really, really well done on this. Very simple, very straightforward. I like the polished, the carbon fiber scales. They are kind of angled a little bit, if you notice, so they have a little bit of curvature in them. Just really, really well done. In comparison, this is a little bit of a different style, of course. I like the rounded back spring in the spine on the Lion steel, but yeah, this is very, very well done. I mean, just kind of cool. It's different. I'm really, really into the kind of modern traditionals now. Sorry if that bugs you. The modern take on traditional designs. It's just really, really nice. There's just so much class here, if that makes sense. You feel really classy using these knives. They're just, I mean, as far as performance, not having a lock doesn't do that much. I mean, I've talked to this before, but when you're cutting stuff, okay, all the pressure is on this edge. It's pushing the blade backwards. All right, you don't have to worry about having a lock, but I get it. If you're just really using your knives hard and you don't want it to shut on you, I totally understand that. That's a different knife for a different person. But if you want to class it up, if you're going to a wedding or, you know, an office environment or something else, this is just the way to do it. All these types of knives. I mean, these are just really, really cool. They're fantastic to actually collect. Obviously, limited edition stuff. 50 of each of these is going to be something that's going to raise in value as time goes on as well. By the way, as far as price, I don't know if I mentioned it, but these are $229. You know, it's expensive. It's an expensive knife, but our blade, you're getting a S35VN blade steel, which has fantastic performance. Obviously, you're getting titanium, you're getting carbon fiber, so we have all of our modern materials here. The fit and finish is fantastic. You know, you're getting a very high quality knife, a really good piece. So as far as some specifications on this knife, our blade is 2.7 inches. Again, is that S35VN. Fantastic edge retention. Just a total razor blade, ridiculous. I do like the Warncliffe style blade. Obviously, as you can see, I've been enjoying it on the Lion steel. The length here closed is 3.7 inches. All right. The weight obviously is going to be a little bit different. If you have the carbon fiber version like this, it's going to be 1.9 ounces. If you go with the jig titanium, it's a little bit heavier, obviously having more metal, but that still only comes in at 2.6 ounces, so not very heavy at all. So very, very usable, very classy, modern take on a slip joint, but the biggest benefit to having something like this, again, is having those cutouts on the blade. All right, so it's really, really easy to grab that and open it. All right, you're not fiddling around with the nail nicks. You know, that's something a lot of people don't like about traditional knives. Not only not having the lock, but again, just having a little bit harder to open. I have tried opening this one-handed. The back springs are just too hard. I mean, if you really practiced, maybe. It's too tough. It's too tough for me. So this is a two-handed knife. All right, it's just something to keep in mind. I never necessarily try to open this one-handed either. So there's that. But yeah, there's no lanyard hole or pocket clip or anything. This is something that you would slip into a leather slip, all right, so you don't scratch it up. Unless, of course, you don't care, then you just throw it in your pocket loose. But this is that classy knife. Like when you see those little leather slips, and again, I have my pocket organizer. Should have grabbed it, but I'm sure a lot of you guys are familiar with it already. That's where this resides, okay? You can see it's maintained, it's finished very well. There's no scratching or anything because it's inside of that leather, it's protected. So that's how I'd recommend carrying this, getting a nice little leather slip, you know, just a little bit bigger than a knife, so you can keep it in your pocket. It'll never get messed with, but it's always there when you need it. So yeah, it's pretty cool. HEA is doing some awesome stuff. They only have a few knives, but they really, really go into a lot of detail, making sure that knife before it's released is exactly what they want it to be. I just talked to someone the other day who just got the Flame. The Flame is a very interesting knife as well. I never had one, have no experience with it, but they could not be happier. It was their first knife with M390, which I thought was really cool, because I get excited when other people get to try some of the higher end stuff for the first time, because they're blown away. It's like someone who's driving a Ford Pinto their whole life and then they jump into a Lamborghini. You know, it's exciting. I'm excited for them, you know, to go, wow, this is what's out there, you know. But as far as myself, I did a video way back when they came out with the Hunter, and I thought the Hunter was a very, very cool knife as well. Same deal. If you have the Hunter or the Flame or any of the HEA stuff, it's on par with their quality, the fit and finish, everything else. This is just their nice slip joint. So if you happen to be the one of 200 people to get a version of the Falcon, I'd appreciate if you come back to this video and post in the comments what you think of yours. This way, you know, people in the future who see the video can see other people's opinion besides myself. I greatly appreciate that everyone does value my opinion on knives and stuff, but I always suggest if you're spending your hard-earned money to get many opinions. Don't just rely on mine. You know, get a variety of opinions from different people who use them, you know. So that's all. Hopefully you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you tomorrow with a brand new video. Take care.